Last week I talked about my favorite theories that were proven to be wrong in Steven Universe. A lot of them, as quite a few of you mentioned, were barely theories to begin with and were a bit stupid. That is true, and is the case with most of the incorrect theories. So in this video I'm going to do the top 10 theories that were proven to be true. It is amazing to see just how much foreshadowing the makers of the show can put into so many episodes. This is going to be a good list because if you have been a fan for any longer than a few months, you probably remember the moment where some of these theories started to make sense, and definitely the moment when they were confirmed as true. Although I cannot guarantee that your favorite theory will be here, I think that I chose some of the best the show has to offer thus far. Now it's time to start the list. Number 10. Onion and sour cream are brothers. This one was always pretty apparent from the moment we saw what both of these characters looked like. Sour cream and Onion, aka Yellow Diamond to some, have very similar skin and hair color. Plus their names go very well together, since sour cream and onion is a popular variety of potato chips. In Joyride, it was pretty much confirmed when Sour Cream talks about his relationship with his stepfather Yellowtail. Since Yellowtail is Onion's dad, that makes Sour Cream Onion's half-brother. While it may be true that Steven and the Crystal Gems are the focus of the show, sometimes I really love learning more about the human characters and their families. Number 9. Pearl was in love with Rose Quartz. While it was first seen that Pearl had always looked at Rose Quartz as the leader of the rebellion, Rose's scabbard revealed that there have been more to Pearl's feelings, and following episodes only raised more questions about Pearl's relationship with Rose. In We Need to Talk, it is even shown that Pearl was jealous of Greg for being in a relationship with Rose Quartz. Rose is the reason that Pearl stayed on Earth and fought against her homeworld. Rose was probably the gem that taught Pearl almost everything she knew. With all those things in mind, it is easy to see why many predicted this to be the case for Pearl's feelings towards Rose. And this was pretty much confirmed in a tweet by a Steven Universe writer that Pearl's feelings are clearly shown. While this writer likes to joke around a lot, it seems to me that this tweet was one of his more serious ones. It does, however, look like this love was unrequited, but it may end up being much more complicated than just that. Number 8. Peridot is a cyborg. Peridot, as we first met her, was actually a little bit intimidating, but looking at her now, it is very surprising to see just how much she has changed since then. A big part of why she appeared as a threat was due to how advanced she appeared to the rest of the gems we knew. She had long limbs with fingers that could float and create screens. While at first people believed that she was a new type of gem with enhancements meant to replace Pearl's, later some speculated that her arms and legs were not actually a part of her body, and this was actually the case. With the loss of her limb enhancers in Catch and Release, it was revealed that Peridot was actually very short in stature. With this came the beginning of Peridot's change towards the Crystal Gems, ending with her becoming a part of the team. Number 7. There are multiples of every gem. One of the things that made the Crystal Gems unique when the series first started was that there was nobody else quite like them on the show. In particular, their names matched up exactly with their gemstone, and as we met more gems throughout the first season, each one was unique in look and name. So that implied that there may only be one of each gem. But that seemed a little unlikely, seeing as there can only be so many types of gems before they run out of names to use, which then led us to the conclusion that there are multiples of each gem. Before being proven true in Back to the Barn, evidence for this theory was given when Jasper calls Pearl a Pearl, and Rose calls Pearl my Pearl. Now, with the latest episodes, it is quite commonplace to see multiples of a gem, as rubies are quite plentiful. Number 6. All monsters were once gems. One of my favorite parts of the first season of Steven Universe was seeing all the corrupted gems. I even made a top 10 list about the 10 most popular ones. Of course, they were mostly just known as monsters until the truth about them was revealed in Ocean Gem, as explained by Pearl. The evidence for this theory was in Monster Buddies when Centipedal tries to reform in an uncorrupted state. For a few moments you can see the humanoid silhouette that looks just like a gem's before it later emerges in its smaller form. I really do hope we get to see what Centipedal actually looks like very soon. Number 5. Amethyst is a runt. This theory had not crossed anybody's mind really until the return, where Jasper calls Amethyst a runt. Sure, Amethyst was always seen as small, but Jasper pointed out that particular fact about her, so it had to have had some significance. Going back to On the Run, it did appear that many of the other holes in the place were bigger than Amethyst, so something must have happened where she was in the ground too long and therefore emerged smaller than the others. And all of this was in fact true. In Too Far, Peridot confirms all of these things, and also tells Amethyst that she was supposed to be a huge soldier gem. It makes you feel really sad for Amethyst, but all these defects on her at least make her one unique gem. Number 4. Pearl was a servant as well as defective. This theory first became popular after Jasper called Pearl defective in The Return, much like with the previous entry on the list. Once that was said, many people took this as meaning Pearl was different from others like her, and it could be concluded that if more Pearls did exist, they were in fact servants because of the traits Pearl exhibits. She likes to clean and organize, which are things a servant does. She was also extremely loyal to Rose Quartz, and would rather be a follower than a leader. In Sworn to the Sword, Pearl states that she was not built for fighting, and in Friendship, she calls herself just a Pearl. This was finally confirmed in Back to the Barn, where Peridot, our explainer of many secrets, clarifies this by saying that pearls are made to order for gems of high ranking. Number 3. Peridot will join the Crystal Gems. I did say earlier that Peridot was at first seen as intimidating, but if there was a choice between her and Jasper for being redeemed, it would be seen as much more likely for Peridot to join the Crystal Gems. Steven had previously been shown making friends with both Lapis and Centipedal, two very different gems. With that in mind, it always seemed as a possibility that Peridot could be next in line. And there was a sign of hope in Jailbreak when we saw Peridot take an escape pod to Earth. If she had ever had a chance to be redeemed, it would have to be when Steven was able to interact with her constantly. And this is exactly what happened, as many predicted. And just look at Peridot now. Number 2. Ronaldo was right. Personally, I find this one a bit mind-blowing because it shows that we should not just give a cold shoulder to things that may seem a bit crazy or not serious. And in this case, it was that the resident conspiracy theorist, Ronaldo, was right with just about everything he predicted. We learn a lot about Ronaldo in Keep Beach City Weird, and he claims that the true evil in the world are polymorphic sentient rocks who want to hollow out the earth. These beings are a part of the Great Diamond Authority. His first statement of polymorphic sentient rocks was immediately true, as garnet, amethyst, and pearl are shape-shifting gemstones. With that known, it would not be too hard to think that everything else he said was also true, and it was. The Diamond Authority is the ruler of the gems, and their goal was to use Earth's resources until it was completely dry. That is not the only time he has been right, and there are many instances where his crazy theories have been correct. With those 9 out of the way, it is time for the final theory. If you haven't already guessed it, number 1 is garnet is a fusion. Yes, I know, I am predictable, but it seemed fitting to put both of the garnet ones in the number 1 spot. Also, this was a great theory from the very beginning, and was a mystery for a whole season. Of course, looking at the huge pile of evidence, the answer was pretty much always clear. Garnet had multiple gems for starters. She also had 3 eyes with a pupil and an iris, which was unusual. When Alexandrite diffuses, there is a frame where it looks like Garnet is 2 separate gems. Even her instrument is a fusion of a piano and a guitar. In addition, there was some foreshadowing in the pilot and in the intro for the show. Perhaps even her size, accent, and role as a leader could have been counted as good evidence for this. Support for this theory was literally everywhere, and it was a huge payoff for those that were always believers in this theory when Jailbreak aired. So those are the top 10 theories that were proven to be true. It was quite a list, and the huge variety of theories shows just how deep this show can go with pretty much anything. Now, of course, those are not all the best proven theories, as there are many more of them. With that in mind, I am putting together an exclusive video for our Patreon subscribers with more theories proven right, since there were just so many. Even the lowest tier gets to see the video, so that is just another reason to support the channel. A new awesome Patreon supporter is Squid. Thank you for being such an awesome fan of my videos. Also recently, I did a stream to celebrate 50,000 YouTube subscribers on the Camcord app, and those who gave me stars during the stream get a shout out. So thank you Peridot Amino user, Jcon, and Hollow Pearl. Thank you for watching.